Okay, so before we get started, I have to post two very important announcements. Did you know that next week is my favorite week of the whole year? It's even better than Christmas.
Same here. Where do you go?
Well, besides Christmas break, or excuse me, spring break, why would next week be my favorite week of the whole year? March Madness. That's what we're talking about, okay? So I have a special extra credit assignment for March Madness. Not only one bracket, but you can fill out two. And I hope here, can we see that there? Okay.
Yeah, but we have to get it right. Is that the catch?
You have to get it right. That's the thing. Okay. That's what makes it so much fun. Okay. So I'm just going to I'm just going to mention this really quick. Okay. Basically, here's how it works. I've got this video that I made a couple of years ago that you can watch on YouTube. I've posted the link here. Okay. Basically, here's how it works. You can fill out two brackets. One bracket, the first bracket, fill it out any way you like, and that's fine. You get 1 point for picking the national champion, 1 point for each of the Final Four picks. Okay. 1 point for the final two. So that's 7 total points you can get. Okay. Got to get them right. It's really hard. Really hard. This is like real extra credit. Okay. Now the other bracket is, and that's why you definitely want to watch this video, because I show you how to do a statistical simulation. And I know this is not a statistics class, so you need to watch that in order to do it right. But there's a way to use a random number generator, which I show you in that video, and I don't have time to talk about in class today. So that one, you get 3 points for filling out the bracket, and then everything else is the same. So you can get even more if you get them right, okay? There's 2 brackets that we're gonna have, and that's mentioned in the video. I will post official brackets on Sunday after they make the announcement. It will be due on Wednesday, I think Wednesday, because Thursday is when the real games begin. There are a couple of playing games on Tuesday. I don't care about those. They're never gonna win, just so you know, okay? But Thursday is when they get in, so they have to be in by Wednesday night. Now, of course, next week is spring break. I'm not going to be here to remind you, so you just got to remember to do it. So check out Sunday. There will have I will post the brackets with the updated records. This video, I think, is from 2 years ago, but it happened to be the year that the 16 seed beat a number 1 seed for the first time ever. Okay. All right. So that's extra credit. Oh, the other announcement. I've had several people say, "Oh, is there any chance I can pass this class?" And I say, "Okay." So I've got this other one called "What is your actual grade? What if?" Okay. So essentially, I've got a spreadsheet here. All you need to do, these are not your grades. Oh, you have to download it. Sorry. Why won't it let me download it?
Files.
Is it in files?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's stupid. Oh, we didn't mean to close it. But anyway, download that thing, enter your grades. We've only the grades that are in there were just for testing purposes. Those are not your grades. Okay? Enter your quiz grade, all of your test grades, and then that will tell you your current score. Okay? Now I have to estimate what you're going to do on the final. So the computer already says, well, whatever you've done on the test, that's what you're going to get on the final. You can say, well, what if I get 100 on the final? What if I get a 0 on the final? What if I get a 60 on the final? So you can use it as kind of a what if calculator. What if I get 80 on the next test and I don't take the last test? Whatever. You can do whatever scenario you want to do. So it will tell you what your current grade is. So you can use that. Anyway, that'll help you out. So I don't want to spend any more time on that. It's pretty easy to use. Okay. All right. So let's talk about 5.4, which is systems of non-linear equations. Okay. All right, let's say that I had x squared plus y squared equals 100. And I had 3x minus y equals 10. Okay? Now my first question to you is, if you were to graph the top equation, what would it look like?
Circle.
Circle. The bottom equation would be a line, okay? So we could have a few things that could happen. This is going to be a circle of radius 10, right? So those are radius 10, okay? Now, the next question is, if I drew the line, there's a few ways I could draw the line. I could draw it so that it touches in two places. I could draw it so it touches in one place, or I could draw it so that it doesn't touch at all. Okay? Now, most often with these, it's probably going to look like this first line. Okay? It's going to touch in two places, and you need to figure out what are the coordinates of those two spots. Okay? It could touch once. It could not touch at all. Okay? So we need to figure out how to solve this. How would you solve this, Sam?
We'll use substitution.
Substitution, right? What would you do substitution-wise?
I will substitute the y of the first one. I will solve for the y of the second
Yeah,
one.
solve for the y. So you can subtract 3x, right?
Yeah.
So negative y equals 10 minus 3x.
And divide over here.
Divide by negative 1 or multiply it, so all the signs would change. So y equals negative 10 plus 3x.
Yeah,
What do you do with
just
that?
plug in.
Plug it in the first equation, right? So I'm going to write this as 3x minus 10 squared. No, well, that's the y, plus x squared. There we go. I wrote it backwards. Equals 100, right? Okay, so this becomes x squared plus, can you FOIL that out for me? 9x squared, that's 30, right? Times 2 is negative 60x plus 100 equals 100. Okay? The hundreds cancel, right? So I'm left with x squared. 9 minus 60 is negative 51x equals 0. Right?
No.
Isn't that 9x squared?
How did you get to that, sir?
Oh, geez. I'm doing terrible math today. I must not have got enough sleep last night. Let's try that again. We can add those two together. 10x squared minus 60x equals 0. Okay? Now what?
Pull out the 10x.
Pull out 10x. And we're left with x minus 6 equals 0. So either 10x equals 0 or x minus 6 equals 0. So x is going to equal 0 or x is going to equal 6, correct? Okay, so what do I do with that?
Find the y.
Okay, find the y. How do I do that? You can use that nice equation right there, right?
Plug in both values.
Okay, so if x equals 0, y equals negative 10. So this is 0, negative 10. And if x equals 6, 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 10 is 8. So this is 6, 8. So all of these should be in ordered pairs. Okay? So if I were to draw this properly, we can see that it crosses at 0, negative 10, and at 6, 8. Here, I'll use a different color. So this is actually the correct answer here. If that's 6 and that's 8, it would look something like that. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Should we do another just to make sure we know what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Can I erase this? Okay. How about 3x squared plus 2y equals 26, and 5x squared plus 7y equals 3. First of all, what are those? If you were to graph them, they're two parabolas, right? Okay. So two parabolas, do we know if they're facing up or down? No, they're facing down, right? So we'll probably have two parabolas look something like this. They'll probably cross, say, here, and actually maybe they'll cross again down here or something like that. Who knows? Okay? Probably cross in two spots. Obviously, that's drawn to scale, right? Okay, so let's see here. Logan, how would you help me solve this?
I mean, you can either cancel out the 3 and 5, you can multiply each, or you can just solve for y for one of them and substitute it.
Yeah, we could do substitution or elimination. Let's go elimination this time because last time we did substitution.
Why are they facing down?
Why are they facing down?
The x squared.
Because if you subtract the x, you're going to get a y equals a negative x squared. Right? That makes sense now?
Yes.
In both cases. Okay? All right, so let's do elimination, and we're going to eliminate the x's or the y's.
X's
X's, okay? So we're going to multiply this by
5,
5 and this by
3,
3. Do you want to make one of them negative?
if you want.
Yeah, I like to.
Okay, make the bottom negative.
Make the bottom one negative. Okay, so this becomes
15x squared
15x squared
plus 10y.
plus 10y. 5 times 26, 6 times 5 is 30, 130, okay? And this becomes
Negative
negative
15x
15x
squared,
squared,
negative 21y,
negative 21y equals negative 90, okay? We will add, that's going to go away. Negative 11y equals
9, not 90.
9. Thank you. I did go to bed way too late last night. 121, right?
Yep.
Divided by negative 11. Y equals negative 11. Okay, now what do I do with that? Plug it back into which equation? Does it matter? Okay, which one do you want to plug it into?
We're still on me.
Yeah,
Plug it on the top one.
top one, okay? So if we stick this in here, we're going to get 3x squared plus 2 times negative 11 equals 26. So this is negative 22, right? We're going to add 22. We're going to get 3x squared equals 48 divided by 3. X squared equals 16. X equals plus or minus 4. Thank you for remembering the plus or the minus. Okay? All right, so you could write, if you wanted to write this as an ordered pair, it would be what?
Negative 4, comma, negative 11.
Yeah, or plus or minus 4, negative 11. Yeah, but those are actually two answers, right? So if this were my real graph, it would cross at 4, oh, and negative 11. Actually, I can't do that because it would cross below the x-axis. Here, we'll do it this way. Okay? Our actual graph, it's going to cross at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and negative 4, and negative 11. Okay? So it's going to cross in those two spots. Maybe something like, I don't know, who cares? Okay? Something like this. I don't know. So we'll see. Good enough for what we're trying to do. Wow, now it does have the graphical method. I guess I'm not going to worry about crossing the graphical method because if you had to do this accurately, it's not worth it. I'd rather see the algebraic method. So that's the answer I would like to see. Okay? Wow, we got through that section. Okay? So quiz tomorrow is on 5.4. See y'all tomorrow. And then we'll have a happy spring break.
Oh my God.